Sixth stop on the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup Tour is the 2010 Winter Olympic venue of Whistler Sliding Centre. We're in beautiful BC, Canada's west coast, high in the mountains. And as we get ready for the second and deciding heat, we've got an enormously exciting race on our hands. Martin Haven, John Morgan, trackside, and John, what a gap we've got among our leaders.
Christina Hengster, wow, she comes down the track in a awesome time with a deficient start time, but her drive, she just didn't steer. She let the sled run, and on this super speedway, she almost tipped over there in the exit of 50-50. She comes down, she's got the fourth best time. She's a 10th out of the gold medal position. Then next up, we got Jamie Greubel poser, Cheryl Garrett, where they were the first ones down the track, and they broke the track record. It's been around for a few years, and they put themselves in a medal position like they've been all year. So, but a little bit later on, there's the Belgian bullets, Elfje Willemsen. Real deficient start time, but boy, did she fly on the bottom part of the track, and she gained all the way down, and she tied Jamie Greubel poser at the bottom, and she knew she had a good run, but Kaillie Humphries, Melissa Loholtz, well, they also broke the track record that Kaillie Humphries had owned for 6 years. Jamie Greubel poser broke it, and then Humphries took it back. What a super speedway this place is. Look at everybody is aghast at the speeds. The athletes, 94 miles an hour, Kaillie Humphries went.
That's impressive speed in any situation. Kaillie Humphries leads by 600s from a tied second place. Elfje Willemsen and Jamie Greubel poser, and Christina Hengster definitely in the running for medals in fourth position. Mariama Jamanka, first time here, as it is for Anne van Nieuwenhuyse. Britney Reinbolt and Nicole Vogt round out the field. And we go in reverse order of their first heat performance. Well, Kaillie Humphries has not won every time she's appeared on this track, but she hasn't lost since 2010.
Temperatures dropping. This means the ice is going to get faster. Hard to believe we're going to see more track records. The men's race is a couple hours away. It's going to get colder. We could see 96-mile-an-hour speeds tonight out of two-man sleds.
It's going to be insane speed.
Super speedway here at the Whistler Sliding Center. What an awesome facility overlooking the beautiful resort village of Whistler.
And you can see it down there at the bottom of the valley, and the temperature inversion showing as the cold air comes down. That little thin rim of cloud will drop down into the valley as well, and the track will get colder and faster. Sun's already dropped down behind the mountains here as we get ready for our second and deciding heat. Nicole Vogt and Mariama Jamanka will be first off, and Kaillie Humphries, Melissa Loholtz will be last away. Kaillie, of course, won the Olympic Games here, her first of 2 Olympic gold medals in 2010. She lost the subsequent race in November. She was in third position, but she won the last World Cup outing here. For the USA, 29-year-old from Wichita, Kansas, now Dallas-based Nicole Vogt with Mariama Jamanka behind her. Nicole was 14th in the last World Cup race here in 2012. Then she was a brake woman behind driver Megan Hill. Now she's at the front handles. She raced here last, or first, in fact, as a driver in the North America's Cup race in November.
Driving one of the Bodine sleds that probably competed on this track.
She's not alone. Joey Logano, the NASCAR driver, also driving a Bodine sled this afternoon, we see from his Twitter feed.
Logano Garage got a couple sleds down in there. North Carolina got a little snow, so.
Yeah. Not much in the way of ice. They're having to tow it with a truck. Skid there out of 3 for Nicole Vogt.
Ooh, banging. You don't want to hear noises like that up top of the track where the speeds are slow, but it doesn't take long for the speeds to pick up here.
98.2 kilometers an hour, 61 miles an hour, big skid and a sideways moment. She gets it all back together. That was a little bit of a scramble.
She's got her hands full, crashed in training right here.
128.8, 80 miles an hour, and accelerating hard still past the fans.
This is personal best. This is the fastest she's ever been down this track.
And the speed of the line, 144.5.
Yes, she just came down 4,300ths faster. Every single athlete coming down the track in the next 8 sleds we're going to see are all going to come down the track faster than they've ever been. They've never practiced at this speed. It's an exhilarating feeling, and when they get to the bottom of the track, they're very happy.
Yeah, excited too, because this place really gets the adrenaline ramped up.
She gets out of the Luder's Loop a little too early, then the chicane. You know, she tries to overcorrect and, you know, oversteering there. So when you make a mistake, just let it go. And here in the 50-50 curve, well, that wasn't bad there. She hit the wall and went straight.
We're talking about the difference of fractions of a second in the steering. There is Nicole Vogt. She's our race leader. Next up is her teammate, Britney Reinbolt, the 32-year-old from Riverside, California, Marlborough, Connecticut's Bonnie Calise, her second World Cup race. She raced in Lake Placid as well. Former heptathlete and national standard weightlifter. Britney Reinbolt, first and fourth here in November in the North America's Cup races. She's a flight instructor.
And this is the sled that got the bronze medal.
Yes, it is. Bronze with Erin Pack in the Olympic Games 2010.
And Alana Myers was the brakeman.
5:33 getaway, exactly the same as their first heat.
A little skid like she had also in curve 1 to 2. It's such a pivotal part of the track up top, but the whole track is pivotal.
Avoids taps, look, 7/10 up now on Nicole. Nicole had the upper hand in both the previous 2 races in North America on the US tracks, and Britney Reinbolt wants to get in front of her teammates at least once. A winner on this track in November. This is a good run, 1:31.5.
Perfect through there. Oh, a little late there, but she's not steering. She's doing great here at high speed.
Really nice run from Britney Reinbolt. The sled may know its way down, but she does too. 1:46.5, 91 miles an hour.
3/10 better. So we're talking, as we get down to the top sleds, track record. Both sleds here for the U.S. just came down 30/100ths, 40/100ths better. She's happy to be down.
Beats her teammate, and that is what you've got to do to beat everybody else. First, you've got to be the best in your team.
Well,
she's not the best US driver. That is still to come from Jamie Greubel post, but this is a good, tidy second run.
Yeah, and then in the 50-50 curve where she taps a little bit on the entrance, you can see the sled waver a little bit. But they're happy. They should be happy. They just beat the track. Just getting to the bottom of this track with the high speeds that they're attaining is a medal in itself.
Well, Anne van Nieuwenhuyse looked like she'd been beamed up by the Starship Enterprise out of the final corner. She disappeared into the sled for the line, trying to get those extra few hundreds. And this is a very first time ever at this track for Anne and for Loes Hobrecht, her brakewoman. So the Belgian Bullets in their sled Spanky, currently lying in 6th position. Best result of the season was 6th in Lake Placid.
Had a couple training mishaps, crashed twice in training, but doesn't phase her. She just looked like she was very disturbed with herself.
5:39, better start in the second heat now.
Still a little bit of sloppiness at a curve 1, which we call slingshot, and it falls 7 stories into the fall-away curve.
2,300ths in the first heat, ahead of current leader Britney Reinbolt, and better speed by 1 kilometer an hour than the Americans already. Oh, and that's not a bad exit. Almost got away without a tap.
Oh, she's real quick coming out of that curve at 10, 11.
This sled really flies, John. We should see superb speed. Yes, 1:32.6, 1 kilometer an hour, still faster.
Boy, she's really got a lot of confidence now. After crashing twice in training, she really let it go here.
Watch her vanish from sight here. There she goes. Pops up at the finish line.
26, and she's 4/10 faster. We're talking about lowering some records here. And every athlete down is set their own personal track record. That's what I really like. You see the competition as it is, but you can't practice for record speed. And every sled down here, look at them all. These are all the FIBT officials watching the 50-50 curve. And that's the way they shave the curve. Here, where she had problems in training, no problems here in the race. She'll be excited. Look at her.
Yeah, she is.
I won. I beat the mountain.
Hyper excited, and rightly so. Career best equaling 6th position. She might yet move up. Depends what else happens in front of her. Charlie Booker, the IBSF photographer down there in his familiar green jacket and Spanish hat. And there's Loes Hubrecht taking a pause in her pole vaulting career.
She wears some shoulder pads for good reason.
Here is Germany's Mariama Jamanka. Everybody's been asking, where is Anja Schneider-Heinze? She was forerunning the Junior World Championships this weekend, where Germany swept the podium. Stephanie Schneider gets a free entry to the Worlds in Eagles as the new Junior World Champion. And that left Jamanka with veteran Franziska Bertels as the only German driver on this track. And she is stepping up to the plate.
She has done great for never being in North America, in Lake Placid, Park City, and here she's been impressive for a rookie. Never seen these tracks. It's 6 trips on these tracks and shows no fear.
Good line there as well, avoids the tap.
And if you love the sport of bobsledding, then you're going to love the speed that this track presents. Again, this will be her personal best. She gets to the bottom here, she'll have another personal best speed, time.
G-force is rising, little skid there.
Ooh, watch out here. This is the gold rush part of the track. This is not easy. Ooh.
Little slower than her first run, hasn't got the top speed. Gap is coming down, she's in the red, and Anne van Nieuwenhuyse rather is going to take her career best, no worse than 5th position. 53.73 for Jamanka, and right from the beginning, although the lines were tidy, the speed was just dropping off the sled.
Hey, she still came down awesome. Listen to the Belgian bullets.
Yeah. Well, she'll be no worse than 6th. She'll be a bit disappointed to lose a position, but this is a track, as you say, that is now at the 8th run of her life down here.
Yeah, curve 1. Look at this. That's a little sideways, a little sloppy. Down here below, and the speeds are about 75 miles an hour in the exit of Luder's Loop. Now watch her go into, that's a bad skid there. She goes in the take on to the 10-11 spot. And here down on the 50-50 curve, she had to do a lot of steering to get off the curve there.
Little laid off, but she kept them down safe. Now, bearing in mind, she's only done 4 World Cup races. Her worst was in Germany. That was an 8th place. She's had a 7th and now 2 6ths in North America, where she doesn't know the tracks. Next up, Christina Hengster of Austria. This is where it gets real. A 10th of a second cover the top 4. Christina Hengster was 8th here in 2012.
5:24 start in the first run. Let's see if she can improve upon that.
Nice load from the girls, really gently
watch
into
her come
the
around
sled.
this first curve. Perfect. Feathered it through there. Great driver. She is really building momentum for the World Championships and her home track Eagles above Innsbruck.
Any race you're a 10th away from the lead, John, you expect to be in the medals. She's not even in.
Yeah, well, the problem is their start. She's got a chance to get on the podium here with a good run.
Great exit. Speed is the highest we've seen so far. She should be in 132s. She'll need to be 132s. Very nearly 131.9. That's 82 miles an hour.
Now she's starting to fly, get up to the 90-mile-an-hour speed.
She was quicker in the first heat.
Yeah.
147.5 at the bottom, and she gets 147.5 again.
She's 200 slowest. That's the first letter we've seen come down. Slow. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for a medal.
Well, there's only a 10th of a second covering 4 sleds. That is one tiny error away from medals. And that was not a bad-looking run. She had good control, and that's what you need here. If you're loose at the bottom, you just shed speed like it's a blanket.
Watch the heads. I'll tell you how the transition off the curve, not too bad there. And here in the 50-50 curve, look at everybody watching. Does she get through there without tapping? I think that's almost a perfect line.
All the skeleton officials haven't left the track there or watching this bobsled race as well.
Yeah, maybe a little bit early. The back runner came up off the ice. Maybe a little bit too much pressure on the takeout.
Well, she'll be hypercritical watching the video and will be going, oh, I should have done that better. But she's only raced here 3 times in 6 years. Christina Hengster leads, 3 sleds to go. Who will take our medals at this Olympic track. After the first of our 2 heats in Whistler, round 6 of the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup Tour, we had a tie for the silver medal position. Elfje Willemsen of Belgium and Jamie Greubel poser of the USA. Jamie set the time first. Elfje tied it, so she gets to go down the ice first with the brakewoman Sophie Verkrijsen.
Boy, did she have a good upper half of the track.
Only race Elfje's ever done at this track was the Olympic Games in 2010 when she was 14th. She has never been here since.
Start time is her nemesis, 33 in the first heat, 31 there. Now watch, see if she gets her out of here clean. Pretty much like the first heat, tap, and then it's costly when you got a deficient start time. But the queen of speed, as we call her, really knows how to drive.
She was 1,800 slower than Kaillie Humphries at the start alone and finished 200 slower than her at the bottom of the track. 100 kilometers an hour, even 62.1 miles an hour.
Now she's 100th back of Christina Hengster related to the start. Here come the green numbers, and this is what she does best. Although she did crash in training the first time down, she does here.
Oh, and she's gone half a kilometre an hour quicker than in her first run, and she's the first sled to go in the races. We had the 2-man race yesterday, and the women's race, she will finish no worse than 8th position then for her run. In fact, she crosses the line in front of Nicole Vogt, such was her first round advantage, so she'll be no worse than 7th.
You know, she just doesn't steer.
That's how she keeps the speed, isn't it? The line on is right.
Let's see them both. I see Elfie's.
Elfje is out, and at the back you see Sophie Verkrijsen standing up as well.
Wow, tied for 2nd place. And
that will increase the pressure on the top 2, won't it? There goes Anne, her driving colleague, the pink bobble hat.
German doctor here in the yellow.
She's going down to join the other medical crew there as well.
She's going to be more upset with herself.
See, Elfje's out. She's got her helmet off. Yeah, she's just going to be plain furious with herself. Now they will take the sled back down to the dock. Well, let's take a look here, John.
The tap, she's got a tap going in. There, she's going to the middle of the curve, and now she's got no place to go. She can't use that flat wall to steer off right here, and it's no man's land, and she's ducking out of the cowling before she gets to the tip over. She knew, and now, you know, the thing is you tell them, stay in the sled. And it's hard. That's 75 miles an hour.
See the brakewoman desperately trying to hold herself in off the ice so she doesn't get burned.
And they're both very well protected in there, but finishes, goes across, gets the World Cup points. But she is going to be very disappointed with this. The tap, look at the little tap. That's the 50-50 curve that they talked about. Was, you know, and it's right here. You can see the mistake made, and it's such a minute space. There's so little, there's a couple inches of air there.
And then she doesn't steer off, she doesn't haul it off, and so it just climbs, and eventually what is a curved wall becomes a vertical wall. And you know what, she was probably a few hundredths of a second away from the sled not going all the way over, but it just did.
Crashed her first time down in training, crashed her last time down in the race.
So Christina Hengster leads from Anne van Nieuwenhuyse, Belgium, who walks towards us with her teammate's helmet. That's Anne in the pink bobble hat. Mariama Jamanka lies 3rd for Germany.
There's the medical staff all over him. There's Ziggy, the former coach of the Belgian Bullets in the 2006-10 when there was a reality TV program about him in Belgium that followed him around. It was like reality TV. It was unbelievable, the ratings that program got, that nobody thought they could qualify for the Olympics, and they did.
Yeah, better than driving on ice, it was sliding on ice. They found athletes, they followed them through the program, developing them. There's Sanne Dekker on the left, Christina Hengster on the right. Yeah. Listen, they all know how it feels. You're not a bobsledder, they say, until you've had a crash, and not too many will forget crashing here. You see what it's done to the beautiful wrap on the sled, just peeled it right off. And that's why you stay in the sled, because the heat goes straight through. Elfje just hitting herself on the head there. She's absolutely furious with herself.
Well, she was how close to a medal? She was 200ths or 600ths out of the gold.
She was so determined to find the speed in the second run. Talking to Debbie, our floor manager, between runs, she said she was just so intense about getting that extra few hundreds, 200ths of a second off her first win here on this Olympic track, and she was giving it everything. Well, her worst result of the season so far has been 6th position in Winterberg, Germany. She currently lies in 5th with 2 sleds to come. So that crash might be her worst result of the season. Well, it is her worst result of the season, but still.
Oh, looking at these pictures,
and
you know what? A lot of this at the Olympic Games.
So nearly righted itself there.
Some of the best. Wolfgang Stumpfer, we talked about Kathleen Martini. Some of the best drivers. Zubkov crashed there in the 4-man.
And here is Sophie Verkrijsen coming back up the hill.
She's a little pumped up, you think?
Yeah.
That's a pretty steep hill right there.
It is.
Look, you can tell with the ice there next to her. That's
she's an
steep.
athlete. And I'm not, so she can run up it and I can't.
Yeah.
You know, there's in every part of this sport, whether you're a skeleton athlete or a bobsled athlete, there is an enormous mutual respect here, because you don't race each other. The first thing you do is you race the track. Nobody else can ruin your race. Only you can change your result. Delay at the top for our final 2 athletes to pick the sled out of Elfje Willemsen, going for gold. And a miscalculation of maybe 100th or 200ths of a second has cost her a chance to lead. Christina Hengster of Austria in the medals. She leads now, guaranteed at least another bronze medal. But
her 4th medal now in 6 races.
200ths of a second separated our top 2 sleds. This is Jamie Greubel-Poser and Sherelle Garrett. And they lay second after the first heat. And they too determined to turn over Olympic champion Kaillie Humphries on her home ice.
Saw 15 in the first heat, so they should go 13 from what we've seen in the previous sleds.
Greubel-Poser's only raced here once before, 2011, 2012 rather. She was 11th place. Now she's looking to win.
Much better exit of curve 1 than she had in the first run. Ooh, that wasn't good there in the curve 3 though. That was a little sloppy. And up here where the speeds are slow, need to be perfect.
I said the lead was 200ths. It was 600ths of a second. They trailed Kaillie Humphries by from the first heat. They started identically.
Down to 1.
100th in front of Christina Hengster.
That mistake up in 3, I think. She's coming back now, though.
She had 1:33.3. She's got 1:33.5 in the second heat, even faster than her first run.
This is for a silver medal at least for Jamie Greubel.
1:50.8. Phenomenal speed across the line.
93.7 miles an hour. It's the fastest she's, well, 52, yeah, fastest she's ever been down the track.
52.75, 500ths quicker than her first run. And all it needs then is for Kaillie Humphries to be 200 slower than her first run, and that turns over the, well, she's 500s faster. She was 100th behind.
Look at these lines.
Behind, so.
See, she didn't hit the take on going into the 50-50 curve. She hit it perfectly. Look at this. This is where Elfje Willemsen made a mistake. She hit that little wall on the left and pushed her over in the middle, and sayonara after that.
Well, guaranteed at least a silver medal, but will it be win number 3 of the season for Jamie Greubel-Poser, or win number 4 of the season for Olympic champion Kaillie Humphries? Her first Olympic gold medal came here. She lost the post-Olympic race. She was only 3rd, but she won the last outing here.
Well, 5:14, the America team just put down. You should see that or better right here.
Oh, little wobble, 5:13.
See if she gets out of here clean, boy.
Little skid. And all these, I mean, we are picking minutiae up here, but all these can take 100th or 2 away. She only had 6 to play with.
Yeah, but this is where she really dominates top of the track. She took that 600s, turned it into 1100s.
Wow! 99.7 for Jamie Greubel, 101 for Kaillie Humphries.
She's got the top of the track figured out better than anybody else. Down here, things are a little bit more equal, but she has got the top dialed in. Now she's really pulling away. So she's
faster than her first run. This could be a new track record.
Looks like a track record by a lot.
52.71 in the first heat. New track record, 52.66.
500's better.
Wow, and 151.2 at the bottom, 94 miles an hour even for Kaillie Humphries as she takes her 4th win of the season on her home ice. They had a slogan in the games, protect this house. Kaillie Humphries does exactly that. Canada win again on the Olympic track here in Whistler.
Well, appropriately, she had the best start in the competition in the second run, and she had the best drive down by a lot. And she's a 2-time Olympic champion, and you know, you can't, on her home track, it's going to be pretty tough to catch her, the way she drives the sled.
She and teammate Melissa Lottholtz only 200ths away from the start record that she and Heather Moyse set in the games as well.
They're really impressed. They didn't have these type of starts first part of the year, so they're really coming together as a team. And it shows when, you know, she was 4 or 500ths behind Jamie Greubel Poser at the start, and now look what she's doing. She's beating them at the start. She is great down the track. We all know that.
Big start, 200ths off the all-time push record here. Heather Moyse can relax for another season or two. Kaillie Humphries and Melissa Lottholtz, though, bust the track record that Kaillie set this morning. And that, in turn, the old record coming in here from the games. The best ice, the fastest ice ever on this track was 52.85. Track record is now 52.66, 1900ths of a second quicker. That is some margin of speed.
And at 6 o'clock tonight, Whistler time, we have the 2-man bobsled race where I got to believe the record's going down tonight.
Yep.
I mean, we saw the record of men's skeleton, women's bob. It's been a great day here at the Whistler Sliding Center, aka Super Speedway of the sport of bobsledding.
Yep. This is the Talladega, the Daytona of the sport. Kaillie Humphries, Melissa Lottholtz win by 1500ths from Jamie Greubel Poser and Sherelle Garrett. Christina Hengster and Sanne Dekker once more on the podium as their season continues to be stellar. And Anne van Nieuwenhuyse and Loes Houbrecht, that is a career high for Anne. 4th position here. Great result too for Mariama Jamanka of Germany in 5th. Well, some big stories to write home about for the ladies here. Anne van Nieuwenhuyse in 4th position. Mariama Jamanka, career high of 5th. Britney Reinbolt, career high of 6th position in only her 3rd World Cup race. She beats her teammate Nicole Vogt, who was 1 spot ahead of her in both of the previous outings. Elfje Willemsen, unfortunately, crashing while just rolling the dice. She was giving it everything for the gold medal. Didn't quite work out for her in 50-50. A couple of hundredths of a second earlier with the steer going out, she would have been quite safe. But she could have hauled it off and given away speed. But her instinct told her not to and to let it fly. And in the end, wasn't quite enough to stay upright. Nicole Vogt finishing in 8th position, as she has in the 2 previous races. And Kaillie Humphries victorious once more. Well, Humphries' record on this track, don't know her record as Kaillie Simonson when she was a brakewoman, but she was 2nd in the pre-Olympic race in 2009. Went on, of course, to win the Olympic gold in February 2010. November of that year, she was only in 3rd position. But in December 2012, the last time we were here, she won the gold medal, and she has done so again. Kaillie Humphries claims win number 4 of the season. The 35-point gap over Jamie Greubel Poser increases by another 25, which makes it 60 points. And Christina Hengster remains in 3rd spot in the standings. Elfje Willemsen I think will stay in fourth ahead of teammate Anne van Nieuwenhuyse, but the gap will close right down. Beautiful afternoon here in British Columbia. We are in the village of Whistler, just above it, as we finish round 6 of the Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. Kaillie Humphries increases her points lead over Jamie Greubel poser with win number 4 of the season. Elfje Willemsen and Van Nieuwenhuyse move ahead of the absent Anja Schneider-Heinzer up into 4th and 5th. Christina Hengster lies in 3rd place in the points. And early season contender Alana Myers-Taylor back in racing action in Europe, but not yet in the World Cup. Well, Kaillie Humphries close to a new start record, just 200s away, but a brand new track record in both runs. She moves the bar notably here. The track record that was set in the Olympic Games in 2010, what was then the fastest ice on the planet, has just been improved by 1800ths of a second. The fastest ice on the planet got a lot faster this week. Testimony to the way that the track crews have done a stunning job through some really awful weather earlier in the week. Really heavy snow, we had a foot of snow and more, and then a day of rain. And then through humidity and sunshine, they have kept this track alive and breathing and fast as you like. And Kaillie taking the salutes from the Canadians for her victory. Former Canadian coach Ivo Ferriani, the president of the International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, presents the flowers to the 3rd place Austrians, the 2nd place Americans, and to Kaillie Simonson, as he knew her then when she was a brakewoman in the team and he was still coaching them. Kaillie Humphries, our race winner for the 4th time this season. So your top 3 in World Cup points are your top 3 in World Cup racing here. And that is it for the North American Trail. Next time on ice at the fabulous St. in Switzerland for round 7 of 8. And we will join you there. From John Morgan, the IBS TV crew here in North America, and me, Martin Haven. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time out 2 weeks from now in fabulous Engadine in St. Switzerland. Goodbye for now.